First of all, I would like to thank you all for attending this course on Agile Entrepreneurship. My name is Mati Brotons, and I work in Fundeo, the coordinator of the EPIC project within the Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs program. The EPIC project is made up of a consortia of 8 intermediary organizations from Spain, Italy, Lithuania, the Netherlands, Poland, Cyprus, and North Macedonia. This course is an added value that we offer to the entrepreneurs in our consortia, both those already registered in the program and those who wish to join it. In addition to this course, a toolkit has been created where you can find information on how to submit a good application to participate in AI, a template for preparing your business plan, and links to online tools for measuring the degree of sustainability and digitalization of your current and future businesses. Finally, I would like to point out that this session will be recorded and made available to all of you, along with the presentation and the toolkit. I kindly ask you to wait until the end to ask any question, as there will be a few minutes to answer them. With that said, it's my pleasure to give the floor to Francesca and Rosalba from the Italian intermediary organization CODEX, who have put a lot of effort in preparing and delivering this course named Agile Entrepreneurship. I hope you enjoy it.
Perfect. I'm Francesca Vanzetti, and I'm a partner at CODEX. That's a company that works in the field of business startup support for over 30 years, so it's a lot of years. This evening, we are going to explore the basic of the design thinking. It's a huge field, and it's difficult to go deeply in each part, but we try to give you the basic of this topic that is very important for potential entrepreneurs, but also for existing ones. Before to enter to get in the topic, in the main topic, I want just give you a scenario in which we are moving in this day. I know that probably you know it better than me, but you know that there is an incredible acceleration in progress, and why human thinking continue to move in a linear way. Artificial intelligence is moving in an exponential way, and this is having a major impact both on our personal life, but especially on the way that the business operates. There are some stats that I will like to give you, and one of these said that according to the University of Yale, in the next 10 years, the 40% of today's Fortune best performer companies will not longer exist. And the average lifespan of company listed in the Standard & Poor's as the 500 best performer companies has dropped from 67 years in the 1920s to just 15 years today. It's an incredible incredible data, and it's clear that things are changing very fast, and this means that the survival of the enterprise is not easily granted. It's for, I can use, okay, sorry. Okay. The failure rate ranges from 45% to 95%. It depends most on the field in which the company are operating. We can assume an average failure rate of 72%, according to most of the statistics. But why do many new products fail when the company enters into the market? In this chart, you can see the most common reason of failure. There are no market need when the product that you propose don't solve a real problem or address a genuine customer need. There are run out of cash, or the team that run the business is not the right one. The price, there are problems with pricing and cost. the study of the competitor is not complete and correct. The product is too poor, and there is a lack of business model, for example. There is the customer need are not considered. The pivot gone bad. But the interesting thing is that many of the reasons why this product fail are exactly the kind of issue that design thinking tries to address. Okay, and so what is design thinking? Design thinking is a systematic and creative human-centered approach. This is very important because it's really human-centered as approach that aim to solve problems with a strong focus on innovation and user need. The typical the typical path that design thinking fall present divergent phases and convergent phases that are very typical of design thinking. In divergent phases, we open up the field of possibility to gathering as many ideas inside or perspective as is possible. Then we will go more deeply in this. And in the convergent phases, we focus on we select the most promising idea and focus on them to fit with the need of the user. There are different models of design thinking proposed by IDAO, proposed by Standard University, or by UK Design Council, but all of them have this common structure. The design thinking divergent and convergent phases alternate to explore the problem and the possible solution. This is another definition of design thinking. We started to speak of design thinking from the beginning of the 1990s, and the definition of the creator, if you can call Tim Brown like the creator of design thinking, is that design thinking is an iterative process for solving complex problem. In design thinking, we think to understand the user, challenge initial assumption, and redefine problem in the attempt to identify alternative strategies and solutions that may not immediately appear with our initial level of understanding. Another definition is of IDAO, that one. I like much this definition because it is easier to understand and more concrete. Design thinking is a human-centered approach to innovation that integrates the need of people, the possibility of technology, and the business requirement for business success. We have to look at people and to ask, do they need it? People need this kind of solution, this kind of product. Then we have to look to technology and ask that we can do this product. Is it easy to realize? Can we realize in the time, in the right range of time? And then we have to look at business and to ask us if we have to do it, because not all the idea could become a profitable company or enterprise. Okay, we just said that the design thinking put the people in the center, and there is a sort of mantra that every new entrepreneur has to repeat himself every day, and it is this: fall in love with the problem, not with the solution. Because if you don't focus on the right problem, it's difficult to try the right solution. As they said that if I had just 1 hour to save the world, I'd spend 55 minutes to define the problem and just 5 minutes to solve it. In other words, before you can solve a problem, you have to define the problem properly. This is the phase that we call the problem setting, that has come before the phase of problem solving. let's go dive in the core of the topic now. The cycle of the design thinking is divided in 5 key stages that are the following: to emphasize, to define, to ideate, to prototype, and then to test. Keep in mind that it's not a rigid and a step-by-step process, but it's an iterative process in which that means that you don't just move forward in a straight line, but you go back and then forth between phases, because you learn from your feedback and you have to improve your ideas after you have got feedback from the users. We're going to start from the first phase, okay, which is this one, to empathize. This stage is about understanding your user. We have to understand their needs, their desire, their frustration, their challenge, and we have to see the world through their eyes. We have to put in their shoes, exactly. And we can use interview, we can use observation, we can use research, data, we can use studies, market research. We can also do field research, observe user in the real situation, the real setting, and listen to their conversation and collect feedback on their actual experience in the way to better understand their need. We can do interviews, we can do survey, we can create also buyer personas. After we will speak about empathy map, that is a way to build the buyer personas. And we can build characters that represent different types of user, different types for ages, ages, interest, experience, and these help us to understand their motivation and their need, and on a deeper level, because it's not enough to classify the customer with the demographic aspect, yes, because me and Rosalba have the same age, but we are completely different. We have different supplier, we have different interests, we have the same age, we have the same studies, but interest completely different. After this first type, we go in a second step to define. Just one thing. The phases of empathize is the divergent phases in which we have to collect a lot of data. The phase of defining, or to define the problem, is a convergent phase. And after empathizing, it's time to make sense to everything that you have learned, to all the information that you have collected, and to define the main problem that we are trying to solve. The goal now is to synthesize the insight and put them into a clear problem statement. And also for this, there are specific tools of which we will speak in the next slide. What's happening in this phase is we have to organize the information that we have collected and to put that in order of priority. To identify the key user need and prioritize also the needs of the user. And at the end, we can write a specific problem state that focus on what user really need, and focus on where the opportunity for innovation can lie. So organize the information, okay, analyze the data we collect, we articulate the problem, okay. After these two phases, we have to ideate, and this is again a divergent phases, to ideate the solution. During this phase, this is a creative part, obviously, and we have to generate as many ideas as possible even the wide ones. The goal is not the quality in this step, but is the quantity at first. Don't judge the idea too early, but just let them flow. All kind of the idea, this step are good. We can use different methodologies like brainstorming. That means that we bring together a multidisciplinary group, team of people, and start to generate idea with them. These generally need to be led by someone, because after a few minutes of free generation of idea, we need to have a sort of coach during this process, because the risk is that after a few good idea, the brainstorming become very, very poor. In the same way, you can use the brain writing. That sometimes it's better than brainstorming, because when you have to put your idea on paper, you have to focus more on it, and could be better in some time. After that, you have to organize the idea in group. For example, organizing the feasible idea, the innovative one, the bold one, the easy to test, and so on. Next step is to prototype. Prototype is again a convergent phases. We have collected a lot of idea, and now it's time to bring our idea to life, even in a simple form. We have to avoid to make the mistake to prepare a perfect product or a perfect service before testing. We have to go with the minimum viable solution, because the feedback that we can collect from the market are very important to implement our initial idea. So the goal here is to create a low version and of our idea. Useful to test it with the real user and to get feedback. More feedback we can obtain, more information we obtain to improve our version of the product. In general, we said that we have to build something quick and dirty. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just enough to make understand the concept to the final user. And what kind of prototype we can use? We can use mock-ups. We can use storyboard, paper model. We can use also landing pages or 3D prints or version beta, version 0, version beta of our product. This is in order to test the solution. After the prototyping, we finally arrive at the fifth phases, that is the one of testing. We go out of the building in the market and we test our prototype. We have to show the prototype to a real user or potential customer, and the goal here is get a feedback, make changes, improve the product, refine our solution. We have to watch how the user interact with our product and listen directly to their feedback. It's important that is the potential entrepreneur that do this test on the market. So we can change what is not working, and we can improve the solution. How we can test the product? We have to prepare a minimum an MVP, we call it, that stands for minimum viable product, and then we have to propose some early adopter to use it. in the way to verify if they appreciate it, how they exactly use this, so we can improve our also the user experience, modifying the layout of the app, of an app, for example, or of tools. We can also do sustainability tests and use, for example, the crowdfunding to test this new product. Crowdfunding campaign could be a good test for some products, because we can immediately understand if the potential user are interested in it, because the user have to do an action, have to buy a prototype, have to give some money for the function of a new product. And what we have to do after we have tested our project, it depends. If we receive negative feedback about a specific feature or a function of the product or of a service, we need to adjust it, or at least to change it completely. This phase is called to pivot phase. We have to pivot, to change the product, to adjust it, and to propose a solution better than the beginner, than the solution before, the previous solution. Okay. And if we get a positive result, we have to go on improving the solution and to build the final one, not just the first version of the item or of the product. But keep in mind that, like I said in the first slide or at the beginning, this is not a linear process, and this is very, very important. From each phases, you could have to return to the previous one. For example, you define, but you not define the right problem in the right way, and you have to go back to the phases of empathize, to search other information, to better focus on the real problem, and the same for all the other phases. The process is iterative. That means that you don't just move forward in a straight direction, in a straight line, but it's very, very frequent that you go back and you go forward and back and forward a lot of time, not just one time. Okay. We can use a lot of tools in the design thinking process. I just put some of them. Probably many of you know some of them, but there are a lot of other tools. These are just some of the most used tools. Start from example from empathy map, point of view, lean canvas, business model canvas, value proposition canvas. We try to say something about some of them. The empathy map generally is used in the first phases of the process, in the phases in which we empathize and in which we have to define the problem. We have to build buyer personas. For example, we can suppose that our buyer persona is name is Marco. He is 35 years old. He is married. He is an office worker. She is a father of 2 sons. And what is his problem? His problem is that you want to keep it in a good shape. And so he generally uses fitness app. And we have to understand better about this. And for doing this, we have to think as Marco, to put us in in his shoes. And so we have to ask what Marco thinks and feels. For example, it's possible that Marco thinks that I don't have enough time to work out. I want to feel healthier, but I have not so many time to exercise, to work out. I am frustrated because I can do all my session of workout and I have to stop. I need more motivation. These are just examples, but just to say how we have to enter in the mind of the buyer persona that we have built. We have to imagine what Marco sees. What sees Marco? Marco probably sees other people that are successfully training, and this is frustrating from him. Marco could see also a picture of himself when he was in perfect shape. Or Marco sees the app notification that remind him that he missed a lot of workout. And this generates in him a lot of frustration. And what Marco says and what does he do? He says probably I can stay consistent. I wish that the app was more flexible. I'm feeling guilty because I continuously skip my workouts. I continuously open my app, but without doing the task. I have to train alone, and this is boring for me. So generate pains in Marco, and this pain could be low motivation, hard to follow program, difficult to join visible result, personal need to personalize, lack of flexibility in the app that he use. And then at the same time, we can try to understand which are the desiderata of Marco, the wishes of Marco, that could be the one of having a personalized plan, could be or to have a motivational support, or to have a flexible schedule, or to belong, the need to belong to a community, because this is more helpful and could help him to perform better, to not miss his workout, his session workout, and so on. It is just an example. We can buy, in general, when we have to verify the feasibility of a project, we buy more than one buyer personas, at least 3 or 4 different buyer personas to understand different potential kind of customer. Marco is just one Italian guy, but we can find a lot of buyer persona. Another tools that we can use at the end of in the phase in which we have to converge, in which we have to define the statement, problem statement, is the point of view, because this is useful to summarize the problem. We have to identify clearly, the user, and then the needs, and then the insight. For example, the user could be university student that live away from home, and their need could be that they have to find a way of cooking healthy meals in few time with few tools at the disposal, and with a little space in the room or in the house in which they live. And so The insights are limited time, limited spaces, less cooking skill, and our point of view statement could be university student need a simple, fast, and low cost way to prepare their safe, their healthy meal, because they lack of time, of space, and they have poor cooking skill, to prevent them from maintaining a healthy diet, for example. This is an example, of course. Another tool is quite common, and is the Lean Canvas. It's a typical tool of the process of Lean startup that in which we assume to go very quickly to market with rude solution just to test it. The Lean Canvas is a canvas divided in 11 blocks. It's quite similar to the business model canvas, but it's used at the beginning of the process of enterprise creation. The first block in which we work is the one of the problem. We have to identify the three main problems that we are aiming to give a solution. In the meantime, we can explain how at the moment the problem is solved, which are the existing alternative to our possible product that can solve this problem. And then we propose a solution, or better, three solutions for the three main problems. Which are the three features that can respond better to our three main problems? And with these three solutions, we can build a unique value proposition. What makes our offer different from what is existing at this moment in the market, and why people should choose our solution? Then we can explore if we have a competitive advantage. We have a way to protect our solution. There is a patent, there is a sort of protection of our idea, or is it easy to copy? How can we protect it? Why is better than we protect our idea? And if you have some form of protection, or if it's not easy to copy it, we are more competitive on the market. And then we go to examine which are our our target customer. Who are they? Who of them can be identified like early adopter, that customer that can try earlier than other the product because they are curious, and they can give us a lot of feedback and advice to improve our solution. Then we can focus on channel and on the metrics. You have to define something that we can use to measure the success of our idea. Obviously, we can't forget cost and revenues that are part of the feasibility of a business project. The model in which I would like to spend some more time is the business model canvas, because it's the most used, and I think also the most useful model in the phase of defining, of designing an entrepreneurial idea. The canvas, the business model canvas, was developed by Alexander Osterwalder at the time of his university studies, because she was looking for something that allowed to represent an entrepreneurial idea, not in a business plan of 50, 100 pages and so on, but just in a template, in a unique map. And the canvas was the answer to his desire. The canvas is divided in 9 blocks. The canvas is a model customer-driven. Typical of the design thinking, we have to put ourselves in the shoes of the customer. The 9 blocks are this one. The first one we start is a customer-driven model, so we start immediately from the customer segment. What we have to ask to ourselves, we need to start by asking some question like that. Who are we creating value for? This is the first question. Who is the destinatario, the beneficiary of our product? Whose problem are we solving? Who are our most important customer? We can organize our potential customer in little cluster in which they have same way of the same need, the same type of they live in the same way, they work in the same field, and they use the same kind of a product, and so on. We divided the customer in a segment. We can group them, for example, on the basis of their specific needs. After the customer segment, we go to the center of the model, to the value proposition. It's not easy to define the value proposition, to work on the value proposition block, because to identify a good value proposition, it's quite hard. We try to help you. You can ask to some questions. For example, what is the problem that we are solving for our customer? What is our unique selling proposition? Our unique value proposition? Why should the customer choose us over someone else? The development of this section can be facilitated by using another model, that is the value proposition canvas, that has the purpose of, we go directly to the model, okay, to identify the customer jobs. What are the customer jobs? What the customer, the task that the customer have to do every day in their life. If we, for example, in the example of Marco that we used before, the task of Marco is to be in good shape, to work out every day, and this is but in each everyday life, he has to work, she has 2 children, he has a family, and she has to do a lot of tasks during the day. Go to work, go to take the children to school, go to shopping, and stay with his family, prepare meals, clean the house, etc. So Marco has a lot of pain and gain that they have to overcome. And if we understand better in the right way the job that the customer has to do, and which are their pain and their gain, we can build the right solution and the right product for respond to this need. And to find in this solution pain relievers and gain creator. That is to say, per item of this product, that feature of this product that respond to the need of market. In this way, we can build the value proposition that we know that our value proposition have to generate revenue for us. So after you have defined your value proposition, you have to try to test it in the market. Okay, we was here, okay, in the central part of the value of the model. After this, we go to the channels. In which way we bring our product or our service to the customer? To the customer, we have a website, we have a physical shop, we have a location, how the product arrive to the customer, and how we promote our product, our product, how customer can understand the specific feature of our product, how they can see the product. We need to have a promoter, we need to have a person who explain the product. And what kind of relation we want to build with our customer, because once the channel are defined, we need to identify what kind of a relationship we want to build with each customer segment in order to keep them engaged and loyal to our proposal. The kind of the type of relation is obviously different for different kind of product. For example, there are people that prefer personal interaction, others prefer digital or self-service experience. It depends also from the value of the product that you propose. If you propose a product with a big value, probably you prefer with a huge value, expensive product, for example, an Apple product, etc. You prefer a personal interaction. If you choose Temu or other cheap product, it could be good also self-service experience, digital relation. Not all the products need to have the same kind of relationship. Our value proposition naturally should impact on our revenue, and we have to answer to this question: how do we make money? For example, do we earn through one-time sales, or we earn through subscription models? And how do our customers pay us? They pay through digital payment system or more through traditional methods? Because this has consequences on how on the way in which we have to implement our organization. Now that we see all the right part of the canvas, we have to see the left part of the canvas that define how we produce our value. In the right part, we say what value we create, for whom we create the value, and how we get paid. In the left part, we explain how we produce this value. Okay. We have to ask at 5 minutes. Yes, okay, I will finish in 5 minutes. We have to ask ourselves what are the key resources that we need in order to deliver the promise we make to the customer. Do we need investment? Do we need physical spaces? We have a shop, for example, or we need a website, or what we need? We need equipment, we need technology, we need patents, we need human resources, or we need a specific skill or expertise. And then all these investment or resources that we need, what kind of activity have to do? What kind of activity have to do our human resources? Because a key activity are some of the key activities could be critical for the success of the value proposition. We need to carry out research or development. We need to special logistics. We need to high quality customer service. And obviously, the key activities are related to the kind of project, the kind of product. And then we can do all by ourselves internally, or we need external partner or suppliers. Generally, we always need external supplier or partner. And if we need them, which one of them are truly strategic for our business? We have to divide partner from suppliers, and we have to prioritize the strategic one. All of this part land on the cost structure block. What costs are generated by producing and delivering our value proposition? Are these costs mostly fixed costs or variable costs? This block outlines all the costs involved in operating a business model, and understanding your cost structure is crucial for ensuring that your revenue streams exceed your expenses, making profitable making your business suitable and profitable. It was a sort of a rush, but I at the end of my speech, and I'm without voice also, but this is not
the proverb of the Chinese. Okay. It's the end.
Can we end the? Okay. Just to see the.
Okay.
The floor. If they are alive, they are still alive, or we are alone.
Okay.
We are here.
Okay. I'm not sure that you are still alive, but I see that you are still here.
And I think it's very, very important.
But it's a very huge item, and it's very topic. It's very difficult to summarize in less than an hour. Less than 1 hour. So I'll try, but I'm not sure that
it was very
successful.
Thank you very much, Francesca. It was very interesting, and you explained it very well. As you said, it's a topic that it covers like 2-3 weeks of to train a person. But I think it's like to give our entrepreneurs like a big picture about all the methodologies or agile methodologies we have to create a business. So, Rosalba, I don't know if you want to end.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Also, I thank Francesca that helped me, because she's really the expert on all these subjects. And well, we must say that I could see that there are some, for instance, new entrepreneurs who are registering with our IO, with CODEX, and for sure there are others. We know that in the program, some entrepreneurs just try our potential. They are not really starting the ones that are participating in the exchanges. Some they have already a company, some they are creating a company, some they are just making a business plan. But what is important is that really there is a SU of an enterprise, and that the entrepreneurs understand the importance also to concentrate on the aspects of why it is important to start up. And there are many tools that can be used. So we know that there are some easy tools, but please skip artificial intelligence and use the tools that are given, because it's important. Use them properly, and also, of course, AI is can be used, but in the proper way to help using these tools. That's why we created a toolkit, and you will receive a presentation where, besides this one, you will have some, let's say, some tips about how to write your business plan in order to be accepted as a new entrepreneur in the program. And you will find a number of tips, what is important to focus. So Francesca just explained you very well and very deeply what is the process of business creation, but also when you are drawing up a business plan, you have to pay attention to some formal aspects that are important for the Commission in order to have a business plan that is accepted by us IOs. Of course, we are there also to help you, but we cannot make the business plan for you. So you have a lot of tools. You can find them online. You can use the Canva. You can refer to signposting places as the Chamber of Commerce or other places where there are specific desks that can help you to make a business plan. So besides these tips, there are a series of links to places, to websites, etc. You can refer to also online for getting together all the information you need for drawing up your business plan and for applying to the program. So this is a presentation that will be sent by Mati, by our head of project, and is a deliverable that we are happy to have created, because we know that can be useful, of course, to our entrepreneurs, but also to all the ones that will ever register to this course and will receive it. So we don't have the time to go through this presentation, but you will see it's a very useful material. Then, Mati, if in the future maybe we can dedicate, we can consecrate a webinar just to that. I don't know.
We leave them the slide.
The other ones, yes. Okay.
Yes. So I wanted to add also that in this toolkit, you will also find information about tools that can measure the degree of digitalization and sustainability of your company, something that is very, very important in those times that we are living now. And all the materials, I will send it to you. And now I think it's time for questions. I don't know if anybody have any question. So it's time now, because Rosalba and Francesca can answer you. Does anybody have any question? No? Everything's clear?
Everything,
no, all dead.
all right. So everybody, now they are ready to write the business plan or withdraw that. Definitely. Okay.
So to finalize, just thank you again to Francesca.
Thanks to you.
And
Thanks
to
to all of you.
for not only
It's a pleasure.
but also for creating all these materials. And to conclude the seminar also, I would like to thank you all for your participation and for staying with us for an hour. And I hope you find the course interesting and that will help you on your entrepreneurial journey. So thank you very much and enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mati. Thank
Mati.
you very much.